anything past 40, 45.
The work that I did on my hands, I just smoothed out the chamber. I smoothed out the integrity.
It's unusual because usually when you see
not all the way through.
round is one and flat the other.
It may not actually give it any more horsepower. There's been a lot of talk about okay. Some say that you don't get any more horsepower.
I don't care.
In the side lights and headers because there's still that restriction in there on the side lights. Yes, sir. So I'm figuring. So what? I
was trying to get simply. I
love the sound of it. It's completely different when you put headers on. It really it tunes the exhaust in an incredible way.
What do you think we know?
Yeah, it's actually easier. Yeah, because it's easier because
I am messing you up.
You're not standing around it. If you that's why I always use the hard thing. I use the hard
The kid brought it.
But the harder it is, because what you don't want to do is go on both sides. Right? And then, yeah, and then what you do is you divot it on both sides. You might get your run out just squeaking on both sides, and then you buff it right out.
So I took it over to. Now my back is clear.
So you got lacquer on it. Yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
This is the interior.
Well, I'm talking with Dennis King, and I've selected his car, a 327 Corvette 1967 model, for Keith's Choice Award at Corvettes of Carlisle. Dennis, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine. It's not raining now.
That's right. Well, I have a certain criteria that I use to pick my cars as a celebrity judge. I like cars that have been owned for a while by a guy that drives a car, not afraid to do a little personalization on it, but for the most part really respects the model and is able to just go out and have a lot of fun. One of the things I saw on your car, you had a quote on there, is well, tell me what the quote is.
The quote is that I drive the miles to get the smiles.
Absolutely. And now I realize I don't think I'm driving my car enough, so you've inspired me, Dennis. So
Good.
Tell me about the car. You got it in 1973?
Yes, I bought it in October 1973 from the original owner. It had about 61,000 miles on it. I always wanted one, couldn't afford a brand new one.
Right.
So I made a mental note that I would get one day.
Okay.
And it popped up, and the deal was the first caller for the car decided that they wanted to buy the car for her son and put it in a garage so that when he turned 16 he'd be able to have a Corvette. Well, the seller realized what the possibilities were, that this car would no longer exist once it went into the hands of that 16-year-old.
Right.
So he told the lady, I will not sell it to you. He called me up, said, do you still want it, Dennis? And I said, yes, I do. And the deal was taken care of.
Excellent. So you got it with 61,000 miles. Now it has a little over 218,000?
Correct, about 218,600 and some miles.
So that's a lot of smiles then.
That's a lot of smiles, all of them good.
Now, Corvette Museum, couple trips?
Yes, I've been to three of the caravans, and I've had a great time on each one. I was going to go on this latest one, but there's other things that were conflicting, and I decided I'd prefer to be up here at Carlisle for a change.
Right. What's one of your favorite moments with the car?
Oh, there have been several over the years, but one in particular, my wife and I went to the drive-in one night, and the attendant taking the money was so enamored with the car that he said, you can get in free. Please come on in and enjoy the movie.
Excellent. So 327 under the hood?
It's 327. It's been bored 30 over. I've tweaked the motor. I did all the building myself and assembly, and it's about 400 horsepower now. It's ample horsepower. I can get in trouble if I'm not careful.
Right. And some of the customizations you've done?
Well, I always wanted to personalize my cars, and the first one I always liked the big block hood. So I combined a big block hood with the stripe which was originally done by Carlisle in GM in the prototype cars.
Right.
So I had my friend paint the car, put the blue stripe on, and put the big block hood on it for me.
Okay. And I see some lights on the front.
Yes, I like to make sure that people can see me coming. It's a defensive driving mode that I get into.
Right.
With these cars. If you're not defensive, you may not be a Corvette owner very much longer.
Yeah, the T1 lights aren't as bright as what we're used to today.
Yes, and I've even converted these headlights over to the European version so that I've got plenty of light power out front to see and be seen.
Right. All right, and now you're up here at Corvettes of Carlisle. You said you sometimes do the caravans and some trips. You got anything else coming up later this year, maybe?
Well, I'd like to take and go out and visit some people out in Ohio who have an antique garage that's been restored. Plus he has a 66 Corvette, and then go out to Mid-America for the Fun Fest that Mike Yeager has.
Okay.
It's not locked down yet, but it's on the radar.
Right. And I thought one neat thing you told me is that after all these years, you stay in touch with the original owner.
Yes, I do. His name is Bob Rosenkrantz, and I talk with him, I'll say probably about every 6 months or so, maybe a little bit shorter gap. And he still is happy that I have the car and that I'm enjoying it.
Well, Dennis, I appreciate your time. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for spending some time with us and telling us about your car.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and it's an honor for me.